You heard Anthony Davis mention his relationship with Rajon Rondo back in New Orleans 2 years ago. That was the only time in his first 7 seasons of his career that Anthony Davis advanced past the first round of the playoffs. Certainly, when you look at those two Kentucky players and their connection, there's certainly a unique one between those Wildcats. C-Webb, what do you make of AD playing so well when he has Rondo on the court with him?
You know, in the words of Chuck talks about Chris Paul being the greatest leader in basketball. And I definitely see what Chuck means by that. And I would say that Rondo is one of those type of leaders as well. It just seems that everybody plays better with him, that he holds guys accountable, and that, you know, he's doing his best, so he holds you accountable by his actions and not just his words. And anytime you have a big fella, you know, big fellas, we don't get to ball handle as much as guards and others. So we have to have a relationship with the guard that trusts us, holds us accountable, and gets us the rock when we need it. And I know that AD is happy about that because Rondo doesn't take any plays off. He'll try to knock down the big shots. But Rondo's biggest, I think, asset is his IQ as far as winning goes. And he knows in order to win, he needs to get that rock to AD. So I know AD loves that relationship when he has a point guard getting him the ball when he needs it.
Yeah, basketball IQ is not something that can be easily measured, but certainly there with Rondo. 16 points, 10 assists in Game 2. Grant, he moved up to 6th all-time in the playoff assist list. How has his playoff and championship level experience been evident in this run with the Lakers?
Yeah, Chris, it's been so important to the Lakers and their success. I mean, you know, just a winner, a guy who's a champion, a guy who's all about winning. And I think that's all he cares about. And that's why, you know, he clicks so well with an Anthony Davis, because there's a trust and he pushes him and he helps put him in positions to be successful. But yeah, I mean, a guy who had some great playoff runs, won a championship in Boston early in his career, played with, you know, 3 Hall of Famers. Now you put him on a team with big expectations. You have 2 of the best players in today's game. He knows how to exert not just his game, but his influence, his leadership, even though he's not the best player necessarily on the team. And you saw it throughout this entire playoffs, and certainly right now, defensively, leadership, finding guys, running that second unit, being on the court with LeBron and being able to coexist with him. You know, a guy like that, his greatness, you cannot deny that. And it's been on display. And, you know, I'm glad that people are still appreciating what he's done. And you saw that record. I mean, the cumulative effect of his goals and his assists in the playoffs, never do it. So Rondo definitely, you know, I thought he was a great addition last year. They just didn't have the right complementary pieces. You bring in AD, you bring in Danny Green, you bring in guys who've been around and been, you know, have won championships, and certainly Rondo is playing a big part in this year's success.
Lakers now 9-1 this season when they have 20, or this postseason when they have 26 or more assists. Chuck, when I look at that, it's not just one player. It's like the Lakers have more talented passers than the SEC, man. I mean, so many guys get the job done. What does that do for their team to make them so hard to defend, especially in this playoff run?
Well, let's don't go overboard now. The reason the Lakers going to win the championship because of LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Hey, listen, I'd have a great basketball IQ if I played with Anthony Davis and LeBron. Let me get the ball to those 2 guys. I'm going to look pretty damn good. You know, so listen, Rondo's done a really, really good job, but it doesn't take a rocket science to know I should probably get the ball to Anthony Davis. You know, I should probably get the ball to Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, and Kevin Garnett. Listen, I love Rondo, but listen, that's just common sense.
What we're seeing here, Smitty, is a lot of passes, but also some outside shots from Rondo. And this shot you showed earlier and under the rim, I mean, he's developed a softer touch late in his career. How's that helped him in this postseason as well, Smitty?
Well, obviously, you can see his mechanics has changed, but I want to go back to Webb said, the trust, and you have a point guard. I'm just going to give you a little insight from being in this bubble. Whenever I see Dwight Howard, I see Rondo. Both those guys are connected at the hip, and Rondo is doing a great job. Dwight talked to us about it. He said Rondo is one of those guys that stand on him, making sure that he stay aggressive, and I love it. If you see those guys at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, it's those 2. And then with Anthony Davis, the leadership is every game he's telling AD, go out there and get 75. That's what he keeps preaching to Anthony Davis. So I love that leadership from that point guard situation, and I think he's doing an excellent job of his relationship with him and Dwight.
Well, you mentioned Dwight Howard. He started game 2, 3 for 3 from the field, and has made an impact in the Western Conference Finals and now in the finals. Chuck, what do you like of what Dwight's doing right now?
Well, I think he's accepted his role. I mean, I think that was the big question. You know, Dwight, you know, when his career started kind of going downhill, he wanted to be the guy. And he was not good enough offensively to be the guy. Because, you know, he still is a guy who's a hard-working guy. He's a good shot blocker. He's a good rebounder. And he plays with energy. But he had to accept the fact, like, yo, man, this is what you are now. You're not the kid who led the Orlando Magic to the finals. You're a solid backup player who's going to play 20 minutes, 25 minutes a night, and when you in there, just bust your butt. And I think he accepted that role, and now he's had a heck of a career, and now he's going to win a world championship. And listen, this team could be scary for the next few years, because I look at this AD LeBron situation as kind of like a Kareem Kareem Magic situation. Well, Kareem was the man for a few years, and he turned the mantle over to Magic. And I think that's probably what's going to happen with these Lakers. And you get a guy like Dwight, who's just going to do his thing coming off the bench. This Lakers team, and they're going to get some free agents, guys. And you got LeBron and AD. You're going to get some guys off the street for the next probably 5 years. This probably going to be the team to beat.
Well, certainly if you sweep the NBA Finals like you guys have been predicting so far on this show, you become the team to beat by default. And we've heard a lot of comparisons to Lakers past in the past couple of weeks with this LeBron and AD team as they're up 2-0 in the finals. C. Webb, looks like Lamont Sanford apparently. That from Lakers fan forever 87. I don't know if that's a fair comparison. What do you guys think about that with C. Webb? Grant's out on it. What about you?
This guy gonna stay off my guy.
Listen. Anytime we get to talk about Sanford and Son, it's a good thing.
You see, Webb, you look cleaner than Lamont Sanford. I'll say that. I don't know if I've ever seen him in that suit you rocking.
Nothing's wrong with Lamont. I'll take that. And I know that's some skinny dude in the basement without a girlfriend. So it's all good.
Shots fired right back.
For me, my life.
From
so
Twitter to TV, shots fired. Maybe we'll have a new episode of the Alex Caruso Show in Game 3 of the NBA Finals. Lakers, Heat set the tip off. Again, Tyler Hero, the first player born after 2000 to play in the NBA Finals, still 20 years young. Well, he's one of those guys that we can expect to see making plays under the rim. Smitty, it's time for you to take it away with your top plays.
I will, because if you look at this cast, I'm the only one that played under the rim. Everybody else was way over the rim. Let's start off right now. Number 5, we're going with Bam Adebayo, which I know the Miami Heat wish they had him, and I like this kid. Boy, he's put in a lot of work with his those are my guys, Torrance and Matt Gaines. Number 5, C-Webb, Bam Adebayo. Talk to me about his game. What you like about it?
Oh, nice move right there. Well, I love the fact he has touch right there. He's so athletic, but this is what you have to like, a big fella with nice footwork and off the glass, nice scoop.
Number 4 is a guy that C-Webb love calling his name, is Rondo, and I can't believe it. I'm happy for him. He's knocking down 3-point shots. Chuck, did you think Rondo can knock down shots like this from the outside?
I had no idea he could shoot like this, but I think it helps him being in that bubble, Smitty. I'm not going to lie.
Jamal Murray with the 360. Grant Hill, where is Jamal Murray right now as far as you're looking at the point guards of the future? He has definitely taken a rise on my list. I love what he's done on both ends.
He's got a bright future, Smitty, bright future. Young man can flat out play.
Luka Doncic, Luka the Don, he has a chance, in my opinion. We got to start talking about maybe a guy that could be in that MVP race. At his age, I haven't seen a skill set like this. I love him because he plays way below the rim. And the last play is Jamal Murray. What I loved about Jamal Murray was his scoring, his assists, but he's put on some pounds. And he was, for me, the most surprising players of the playoffs thus far. And that is Smitty's top 5 plays under the rim. I love Torrance and Matt Gaines putting that together.
Smitty, we saw the production from the guy on your countdown twice. Jamal Murray, a couple of 50 pieces in the postseason, also the leading scorer in the playoffs. He's been truly incredible. You think he's